So I would like to talk to you about evolving landscapes for influencers, esports, and social media. So it was October of 2006. I just got home from high school, ready to update my MySpace top 8. And hey, I might flex some elite coding skills to update my profile song too. And then I might hop on RuneScape to play with my friends, or even chat with them on MSN Messenger. But on that very night, I found out that Google acquired YouTube for $1.65 billion. So what could make a website where I went to watch silly dog videos be worth that much? I mean, I knew Google had ads, but did that mean that YouTube had to have ads too now going forward? From that point, I decided to pay a little bit closer attention to this industry. So Google's acquisition of YouTube propelled the creator economy into a new era. Now we had creators launching real careers, vloggers, comedians, animators, and now competing with traditional TV and movies. And once YouTube really honed in their revenue sharing model, the entire industry followed. So where there's money, companies will follow. So multi-channel networks, MCNs started to pop up, promising creators big payouts with brokering brand deals, launching podcasts, helping them even with their merch. And esports teams really started to organize well during this era too, offering deals like traditional sports deals with practice commitments, competition bonuses, all while cashing in on sponsorship dollars based on the players' name and likenesses. But with that said, the future is definitely going to be creator-driven, and it might even have some AI technology advancements. The real question isn't what's going to happen, but it's how we as a society balance the innovations with legal, ethical, and societal challenges. So with that said, let's talk about the current market. So creators now hold all the power. They want to maximize their multi-platform monetization. There used to be deals where, for example, YouTube would pay creators to produce content solely for YouTube. That is no longer the case. Creators want to be on every platform. They want to build their audiences, engage with their community in any way, shape that they can. And brands are loving this too. They're getting more eyeballs on the products that they're paying for sponsorships. But brand deals, they're no longer, just giving flat sponsorship deals to creators either. They want real return on their investment, real data. So going forward, affiliate marketing deals, revenue sharing models, and performance-based contracts are going to become prevalent than ever. But beyond even ad revenue and brand deals, the next generation of top-selling products might not even come from traditional companies, or it might be a collaboration between these creators and traditional companies, and it'll be from creators who deeply understand their audience, connect with their audience, and can monetize their audience going forward. And this is already happening at a small scale. I mean, we've seen skincare lines, chocolate bars, lunch boxes, energy drinks, etc. And this is only going to continue. And they can always also license their name, likeness for digital goods like NFTs or game skins as well moving forward. And looking at esports with that statement there, imagine if NBA had the power to erase basketball. And that is the type of power that video game developers and publishers have over the esports ecosystem right now. If they change anything, or worse, shut down a video game, for example, the entire ecosystem for that esports arena changes. I mean, what that means is that any advancements in the esports definitely lays on them. They have the power to, make advancements. I would love to see like haptic suits, VR arenas, augmented reality when it comes to these esports leagues, and see things like players really competing on an athletic level while using their video game skills too. But again, they hold the power, and the influencers in the esports arena are truly the players. And the players are, getting together, speaking up, forming unions, associations, in order to have the power to speak to the video game developers and to have influence over the esports economy as well. And speaking of influence, with a phone in our pocket, we're all influencers. We all have a voice. We all can like, comment, subscribe, monetary support to our friends, family, even strangers online. But with that said, does that mean we have to subscribe to our friends? Do we have to follow a company to get a job? Or do we have to like and comment on something to feel some sort of fulfillment in this life? And I mean, the answer is yes. A lot of the social dynamics are moving online, and a lot of the interactions there are online going forward. But with that, there does seem to be more of a digital permanence of all of our actions. So our digital footprint is everlasting. Every comment, every picture, every video we post is available, most likely forever, unless you remember to delete something in the future. And with that said, does that mean that we have to worry about thinking about fair use or copyright every time we share a meme with our friends? Or even something like defamation if we post a critique online? And if it's not us who are responsible for our actions online, who is the responsible party? Would it be social media platforms? I mean, in the US, there's Section 230 that limits the liability of social media platforms where they're not responsible for what their users post on the platforms itself. But lawmakers are watching this space a little bit more closely to put some sort of responsibility on the social media platforms in order to ensure the content online is within certain safeguards that we as a society feel comfortable with seeing on a day-to-day basis in our interactions online. But with that said, there's millions of videos, millions of posts online. Who's going to read all those posts and watch those videos and look at those pictures to make sure that it's clean and that it's acceptable to societal standards? And the answer to that might be AI. With AI, there's so much advancements with social media platforms that they're moderating all the content at such a scale that is unimaginable if we tried to do that with actual human labor. But with that said, again, regulators and lawmakers are putting some sort of controls and responsibility on these social media platforms to make sure that this is done responsibly, ethically, and within certain parameters. For example, you might see like a notification that this was moderated by our AI platform, our platform to ensure that this content you're seeing isn't safe or something online, and that was most likely done by an AI tool, by the social media platform. And I mean, now that I've talked about AI a little bit, it only makes sense to metaphorically step inside and talk about it more, right? And I mean, it's impossible to talk about the future without discussing AI. We've heard AI multiple times today in various talks. And to talk about it within the content creation space, the AI-generated content is really reshaping deals. So influencers, traditional talent, even models that I heard yesterday on the news are licensing their voice and images for these AI-powered content. Attorneys in this space are rushing to the finish line to try to standardize the deal terms for these deals, like how long could it be used, what kind of use could it be, commercial or organic, for what purpose, like is it for specific product deals, etc. And at the end of the day, these AI-generated models or influencers are going to be very indistinguishable from traditional human-generated content, and your favorite AI influencer might be live 24/7 going forward. But if that's not really your thing, AI is also making content creation easier than ever. So from automated video editing to AI-assisted script writing, anyone can really truly use AI to make content going forward. But this does come with a word of caution, where the US Copyright Office recently denied protection for AI-generated content, and they cited their reason, which was the content itself must be initially created by a human being, which makes sense. And the area, however, that is gray and unclear right now is that what if there's a content that's created with AI and human collaboration? And the signals in the industry are, pointing towards having the creative input by a human being be the determining factor as to whether or not an AI-human collaborated work should get copyright protection. But what does that mean? Like, for example, if AI helped me write 75% of the speech, does that mean that's too much? Or what if it was 25%? Then that's good enough. It's not majority. So we'll see the developments in that space going forward for sure. But there is still the ethical issue, societal issue, that a lot of these AI tools are made by, having inputted copyrighted work that were created by humans. So by using that work and having further work that's AI generated, you're actually kind of using other people's work as a basis. So that's an ethical dilemma right there. And a lot of those people, just last week, I was seeing a lot of my friends post those very cute animated photos based on their very real photos to, share their memories and whatnot. And the original artist was not happy with that type of use of their artistic style for those photos. So if we allowed copyright protection for that, that could be a very slippery slope going forward. But does that mean really AI is coming after our jobs, our creative works, our human imagination? And the answer to that might be yes, but with some complications. The advancements in AI are happening so rapidly that creatives have no other option than to work with AI than to resist it. So with that said, there's still a lot of issues with that where, like I talked about, in addition to that, deepfakes, where someone's likeness is used without consent, and it's, again, being indistinguishable. AI content is indistinguishable from human-generated content, and that's going to cause a lot of issues. But lawmakers, once again, are looking into drafting bills. Some of them already passed globally to ensure that we humans as a society are protected against deepfakes, and I hope to see a lot more developments about this going forward. But I will ask a kind of a huge question here. What makes AI human? So the thing that really keeps me up at night sometimes is that the US Supreme Court granted corporations personhood to protect their political speech. So what kind of advancements in AI have to happen for AI to get any type of legal protection, for example, moving forward? That is a question to be seen and definitely something to watch going forward. But at the end of the day, we all have the power to influence the future. Again, we're all influencers. We can influence lawmakers, regulators, social media platforms, our friends and family who might be using tools in a way that an artist is not very happy with, and influence how our society is shaped going forward. And at the end of the day, if we fail to do that, well, we might have some AI influencers to keep us distracted while we're at it. Thank you.